Now, for the first time ever, I'm going to do a matchup tier list for Eileen. I've never done this. I've thought about it, but I've never done it before, and I'm very excited to do it for the first time ever. There's no other list like this right now that exists, and no one can argue with me because there are no other Eileen players out there who know how to play the game as well as I do that speak English. Okay, so I get to uncontestedly just talk about who I think is good and who I think is bad. All right, let's is this the right page? That one? There it is. Okay. So the first one is we have We Ballin', slightly favored, even, kind of bad, and Pray For Me. They're very polarized. Owie is like we're balling against her. We shut down all of the things that Owie wants to do in a way that she can't easily get around. So we forced her to stop playing her game. Now on the other side, Akira. Pray. Oh God, pray for me. Oh Lord. Please do not catch me lacking. Okay? Because unlike Aoi, we can't really play our game versus Akira. And we can't stop him from playing his game either. We have to play his game and we have to survive. This is his game and we're just in it. Okay? That's Akira's matchup. Similarly for Jackie, it's not as bad, I think, as Akira. We just have to not get counter hit and block everything perfectly and punish everything perfectly. I think we need another tier here. Kind of bad, super bad. As I was talking, I'm like, well, you know what? That sounds kind of bad, actually. It's super bad, actually, super bad. Not in our favor. Another one. This is gonna be surprising. Taka. We are balling versus Taka. If you know the matchup. You know why? It's in what a movie? Oh, Tetsuyanku. We are balling versus Taka because he does buckets of damage to us, like boatloads of damage to us. And unfortunately for him, we get to dish it right back at him. We do buckets of damage to him, which is awesome. So it's a very much even. If I, we're not balling. It's even. I'm so used to like matches being bad that when it's even, I think we're balling. We're not. It's just even. Actually, it's pretty balanced. That one's pretty balanced. I think the only character we ball with is Aoi. Actually, everybody else it's just matters. It's degrees of how bad is it. Lei Fei is gonna be kind of bad because he does lots of damage. He can enforce his damage. We can't really stop him so easily from doing what he wants to do. However, he can't really punish us for running our stuff either. So it's not like in my favor as an Eileen player. It's slightly in Lei's favor because of how much damage he can do to us relative to how much damage we can do to him. Good to him neither. Lion, super bad matchup. Now, what's so important? So sometimes the low tiers do well against the top tiers. This is not one of those games. Top tiers, she struggles against them all except for Taka. Lion does tons of damage to her, carries her. It's very volatile, not in a good way. In his favor by a long shot. So you could say if you know the matchup really well, it might be just kind of bad, but I don't think it's really bad. It's super bad. Blaze, kind of bad. Blaze it can run his mix-ups on you in a way that you need to survive. And if you get hit by any of them, you're going to lose a lot of health. And with Eileen, you can't really afford to lose a lot of health. So, yeah, Blaze, bad. Bad news. Bad news for her. But you can hurt him pretty bad too, which is why he's not in super bad category. Hi. We're either balling or slightly favored. Here's why. Pi. Did I spell that wrong? What's going on here? Pi relies on counter hits, similarly to Jackie. But unlike Jackie, she doesn't do nearly as much damage as Jackie does. And unlike Jackie, she is light, so we can do boatloads of damage to her. So she's playing a lot like Jackie would in terms of like what she's trying to create situation-wise, but what she gets for them and what we can do to punish her when we do hit her is much more in our favor. So I think it's more even, if anything. But I'm gonna say it's slightly in our favor. I could even say it's slightly in our favor too, but not. I'm not, because Taka is not. It's just not. Jeffrey, super bad. Not as bad. Now this list is in order, from left to right. Highest is left, right is lower. So like, Jackie's the worst of us. Like, Jackie's the strongest in the super bad matchup, and right now, Jeffrey's like the weakest within the super bad matchup level. So for Jeffrey, the problem is he's really heavy, and he can do lots of damage to us. We can't do much damage to him. That's the problem. That's the only problem. We can punish him for whiffing moves pretty effectively, and we can chip and nickel and dime him to death. But like, that's how we have to kill him, unless he plays really risky and makes big choices that are bad. Otherwise, Jeffrey can just roll the dice, and we don't want to play the roll dice game because we lose that game because we're not as good at it because we take too much damage. And off of that note, we're actually going to switch to the next one, which is Wolf. Also, super bad matchup for Eileen because of his weight. He's too fucking heavy. You can't combo him very well, and he can combo you very well. So, and unlike, actually, you know, we're gonna put, yeah, unlike Jeffrey, there aren't as many openings to hurt him safely like there are versus Jeffrey on Wolf. So it's a kind of it's a really rough matchup, and you can just lose. Gamer Boy, what was wrong with your comment? Nothing was wrong. It just got caught. I allowed it. I'll allow it. John. Okay, so I've been told it's this. Maybe I have this colored glasses of having to fight GT all the time. I think this is even, if not like, it's either, I think it's even. I don't think I'm favored. I don't think he's favored. I think it's even. He does good damage to us, and we can do moderate damage to him, but he can carry us better. But we have good options to punish him for running his stuff. That's easy. So it's even if you're like, okay, we're balling if you're much better than a John player. Vanessa, slightly in our favor. No, it's not. Never mind. I'll just, no, it's not. Slightly against us, other way around. Her damage is super high. We do damage to her too, but her damage is much higher than ours. And she can just run it in a way that's a little more oppressive than ours. That's it. Sarah, kind of bad. Uh, Sarah has to run Oki. Yeah. Vanessa can carry Eileen to the edge of the ring very easily with one combo. She has ridiculous um, side turn, normal hit, crumple combos that do boatloads of damage against her. Actually, so does Pi. This list member is ordered. What was I saying? Sarah. So Sarah can do good damage to us. We can do decent damage to her, not as much as someone like Pi or Akawi, but or Blaze. But you can counter it pretty effectively, but you have to know a lot to do it, and it's hard. So it's a hard matchup. It's just kind of it's rough. Lao. Super bad. Here's why. We don't do much damage to him. As you notice, there's a theme here. Anyone catching on to the theme? We don't do enough damage. Okay, we're too light. But how much damage we don't do. And how much damage we take. So typically, Lao is able to have like moderate damaging combos against most of the cast. Against Eileen, he gets really good combos. Like really good combos that have way more damage to them. His wall combos become much better. So she ends up being punished so hard by him. And since he can enforce those hits more easily than a lot of other cast members, what stage is best for her? It depends on the matchup. Depends on the matchup. Depends on the player matchup. Depends on the character matchup. The most neutral stage is Terrace. Half wall stages. Oh, right. The best stage will depend on the opponent that you're fighting and what they're comfortable with and what they're not comfortable with. If all things equal and they play really well and you play really well, best stage, half wall stage. That's the most neutral stage for her. Out of all the things that could be there, that's the most in her favor. If both players are competent, right? I'm not scared of Kage's. I'm gonna say this is slightly in our favor because he can't do much damage to us if he doesn't throw us. His launchers don't do much. His launchers are reactable. We can beat Kage pretty effectively if you're on point. And he has to take bigger risks to hit you and hurt you. Or nickel and dime you with the praying that you don't crush him. Eileen has very good crushes, which is how she survives this game. She can crush lows and she can crush highs. And she can crush some mids if you do it perfectly and you know exactly how it works. Brad, right there. Actually, no. Brad is there, actually. Brad's one of her worst matchups. He does so much damage to her. So much damage to her. Like it is. He does. She just gets her life bar deleted by the wall against a Brad player who knows what they're doing, and his mix-ups to set up those wall hits by the edge of the ring are unblockable. Like you're not gonna block against all of them. They're gonna hit you eventually, and you're gonna get hit, and you're gonna lose like a third of your health, or like 2/3 of your health, and just have fun, buddy. Have fun with that, you know? Go. Even. Kobe, you cringe fighting against Eileen on taco stage because you don't know how to fight on the taco stage very well yet. If you knew how to fight with your character and abuse the taco stage well, you would not be worried. as much. Because it is just as much a liability for Eileen. But only if her opponent makes it a liability. Which many people don't. So that's why I use taco stage very often to neutralize players. But if they know how to use how to use taco just as well as I do, no taco. Unless I'm just rolling the dice. Where was I? Go's even. I could say it's like slightly bad, which I will. Not as close as Lei. So Lei is a little bit better. I mean, Go's a little bit better than Lei here. Here's why. Because, what do you think? Damage. Go does good damage against her. Relatively safe against her. She can punish him relatively well if she wants to. So he does have to take decent risks to get his damage. But when he gets it, and because of how safe it is, when he's if you as the Eileen player aren't taking a risk to stop him, it's pretty good. And he can enforce it. Shun. Final one. Shun is going to be in 2 spots. There's Shun without drinks, and there's going to be Shun with drinks. Different characters. Shun without drinks. We ballin', actually. Shun without drinks, we ballin'. We are balling against a Shun with no drinks. Shun with drinks? Pray for me. He is literally on both ends of the spectrum.